Hi my loves, hi my loves, hi my loves. I hope you are good. I'm back. After a few days of rest, I am back. All right. Hi to everyone. Good morning, good day, and good evening to everyone, depending on what time you watch this. Hi. Right. To my followers, those who have been with me on a journey for the longest time ever, as you know, I did say I was going to go on a rest, and I'm back. To everyone else, hi. To everyone else, please note before you decide to watch the video, there'll be a title up here that explains the message of this video. But also you need to know that no one is holding a gun to your face, forcing you to watch my videos. All my videos are long and nothing about that will change, and I make long intros. So if you're just seeing me for the first time, just know that's it. Nothing is going to change about that. You're not forced to like my page. You're not forced to follow me. You're not forced to like my videos. You're not forced to comment. You literally are not even forced to watch the video, right? There are certain people that these videos are for, but if you are not part of those people, don't force yourself. Don't force to comment. Don't do anything. We're not holding a gun. No one is holding a gun at your face on social media, forcing you to watch our videos. Maybe those that get paid for these videos, but I don't, and I could care less. Right? I could care less about being paid, but it's all about sending the message. Those who are ready for the message will receive the message, and those who are not won't. That's it. Okay. Now, if you're new to my page, as I said, you're not forced to do anything, but if you just do decide to stay, please get yourself acquainted with me. Already from the intro, you can tell I'm not a nice person. Get yourself acquainted with me and how I do things, right? Get yourself acquainted with many of my videos before you start commenting and asking me questions, because many of you comment, ask questions on things that I've already made a whole video about, and you're just too lazy to just go through the videos. If you are interested in booking a consultation, please inbox me on TikTok, or you can email me. My email link is found on YouTube. It's written on YouTube bio, and on TikTok there's a link. There's even a link to my website on TikTok, which you can visit. You will not be able to make a payment for the booking on the website. You will still either way have to message me directly, because there are terms and conditions that we need to go through before anyone books a consultation with me. If you're interested in a consultation, please watch my videos. Many of you come for consultation and are asking questions, and I can already tell you literally have not went through my videos, and it's so frustrating because some of the stuff that you are asking in consultations, I've already talked about them. Now you're wasting my time and the ancestors' time. Alrighty. Okay, my eye has been twitching for the longest time ever. I wonder who I'll see. All right. So during my rest, during the time that I was away, and I had a mini holiday in a holiday. One of the things, I had also a friend come visit me. That's also one of the reasons why I took time to rest away from spirituality, so that I have enough time to interact with the person who has come all the way, flight all the way to come see me. And we were having this conversation. We are going to revisit the concept of as above, so below. As below, so above, right? As above, so below. As below, so above. We're going to revisit it. I've already made a video, 2 videos about it. But one of the video, the cover is yellow. It's a tree of life in yellow, and it's written as above and as below. So you can go watch that video. I just don't remember what the other video is about. But I think on that video, I do indicate what the other video is about. What the other video is. And we were having a conversation, and I feel like I want to share this because I had explained something to her as we were having a conversation, and she confirmed it, and that's how our conversation started. Now, even on the video about prayer, or the video about prayer, I also talked about it. I think it's the part where I started talking about Thabo and Thato, right? The video about Thabo and Thato. For those of you who've watched the videos, you know which one I'm talking about. The video is about prayer, prayers that get answered. I think it's the second video I made about prayer. What is the cover of that video? I think the cover of the video is a woman with, no, it's a woman with something like a shell, and she has a key that she can unlock her brain. All the covers to my video, all the covers to my videos have their own message. Now, if you watch the videos and go look at the covers, some of you are able to pick up on the cryptic messages. I talked about this principle as well. I said that, I think I mentioned it a few times in the videos on prayer, where I said that sometimes you are busy praying out there and your grandmother or your grandfather is out there trying to open doors for you, and when you are busy crying here, and now the ancestors have to leave what they were doing to come back, right? Now, let's talk about everything happens spiritually before it becomes a physical reality in your world. So every single manifestation, whether they be good or bad, they happen physically before they become the physical manifestations. So certain things in your life so let's talk about things that are already in your life. There's things that are in your life that are answered prayers. You are living in certain prayers that you prayed, right? You are also not just living in the prayers, but you are also living in the doubts that you've been having. You are also living in your limiting belief systems. You're also living in your manifestations, whether they be good or bad manifestations, right? And all these things are a reality, are the results of the things that have happened spiritually. Many of them which you manifested, many of them which you asked for, right? Many of them which you asked for. What do I mean? Someone might be sitting here and thinking, but I'm going through the worst trial of my life. How did I ask for that? If you remember the movie, is it Grace Almighty? Is it Grace Almighty? Where Morgan Freeman is a god? I think it's Grace Almighty. If it's not Grace Almighty, but I think it's the movie where Morgan Freeman is a god. And there's a clip where someone is asking questions and say, why does God give us the hardest trial, right? And I think it's the part where Noah has been asked to build an ark because it's going to rain, and the lady is asking a question, and Morgan Freeman says to her, as God, right, differentiating himself in different forms, says to her that the first thing is that when we ask for strength, God gives us challenges that will strengthen us. When we ask for patience, God gives us things that will cause us to be more patient, right? When we ask for abundance, the lack needs to clear out of your life in order for you to receive abundance. When you ask for love, the lovelessness needs to clear out of your life. The toxicity needs to clear out of your life in order for you to receive. So every single thing you asked for, space needs to be created for that thing to manifest into your life. And the creation, the space creation, is never an easy part, right? It's never an easy part. When we ask for money, things that are depleting our money, limiting beliefs, you need to confront them. People that are using you for money, they need to leave your life. If you are careless about your own money, you will need to change that. So many of you are going through a period where you are in the process of the things you asked for. They haven't yet materialized, but there's a clearing phase that you are going through. before the materializations of your stuff. Some of you are actually, you've went and asked God for patience, and God is testing you to the highest level of patience, and you are crying. You've went and asked for safety, and you were removed from toxicity, and you are crying. Right? Some of you went and asked that you learn to manage your money, and when the lessons to manage the money comes in, you're crying. And so in this point, many of you start crying. Many of you start crying. Many of you start complaining in your prayers. Many of you start calling your ancestors. Where are they? What did they ever do for me? They've never done anything for me. I literally stopped a consultation. I was about to do a consultation last week, and listening to the questions that the person sent, me and my ancestors were like, no, we cannot do this consultation, because the things that they were asking were full of disrespect. And you could see in my language, the towards the ancestors, towards the angels, and towards God. And yet, when you look at the visions that were coming, the very same people who are like that, and this is not the first person. I've had many people come to me, and they've wanted consultation, and they're talking in a belittling way about the ancestors. Where are those ancestors? What have they done for me? Right? I'm struggling now, and where are they? Let them show their powers. If you are one of those people and you want to book a consultation, don't come to me, because I will cancel your consultation and send you with your money, because we don't have such things here. I don't even want to know what you're going through. So now, many of you, when you realize, because when you listen to these people, you realize that they are the ones that put themselves in that situation. They are the ones that put themselves in that situation with their own actions, and they're expecting ancestors to produce miracles. And when the ancestors can't produce the miracles that they want, that they are unable to produce in their own life, now they look down on the ancestors. They look down on God. Where is this God that we've been praying for? Right? Okay. So now many of you are in the situation where you've been praying for stuff, but things are not working out as you hoped. And now you're starting to doubt your prayers. But many of you don't even pay attention to the things that you are saying in your prayers. I teach you about the etymology of words. Every single word that you say has an energy attached to it. Many of you don't even pay attention. Don't even pay attention to the words that you say, that you use. Right? I once intend to look for an example in my life. So there was a point in the early stages of my, no, not the early stages of my spirituality, but there was a point earlier on in my, let me say, traditional spirituality, traditional ancestral things, where I prayed for certain things. I was given an opportunity. I remember I was given an opportunity, and they said I can ask for whatever I want. But I felt like they were testing me then, because I still had a lot of limiting beliefs to work through. And I asked, and I got exactly what I wanted. And when the things came which I prayed for, I realized that first of all, I'd limited myself in my asking. Secondly, I doubted the abilities of my ancestors for producing the things that I was asking for, hence why I limited myself. Thirdly, I doubted myself in receiving. I was also even not ready for the things that I received, even as little as they were. And I was regretting asking. And I remember, and the reason how I picked that up, it is because now I'm living in this reality. And I'm going and I'm asking for more. And they're like, but you asked, this is exactly what you asked for a couple of years back. And we gave you exactly what you asked for. So why are you complaining? Right? And so that's when I realized that in my asking, I need to be specific and I need to be clear. And before I ask for anything in prayer, to my ancestors, to my angels, to my gods, to anyone, I need to make sure that I've worked through my own limiting beliefs so that I don't hinder my manifestations by my negative thoughts, by my negative thoughts, my negative talk, my negative self-talk, and my negative belief system. And so then I started working on my asking. I started working on things. I never just went and easily asked for stuff. I thought about them, right? I thought deeply about them because I realized that, and it's the same with many of you, you have received exactly the things that you asked for. Some of you went and asked for a good job, but you were unable to handle that job, the pressure of that job. You went and asked for a job at a specific company, and yet you are miserable right now today at that company, and yet you are forgetting you asked for it. Some of you went and asked for the specific careers that you have, and you are miserable. Some of you went and asked for a specific amount of money in your manifestations, in your prayer, and you got the money. You don't know how to manage it. You are deep in debt, and yet you have you have an amazing job, well-paying job. You can't buy a house. You can't do anything. And you asked, and your ancestors provided, but yet you expect them to miraculously also help you manage the money, when you are the one who's supposed to learn how to manage your own money. Right? Many of you asked for cars. You got the car. And today that car, you're unable to afford it because you didn't ask for the income to be able to afford the car. Right? You only asked for a car. You've been praying for a car. You were specific about a Land Rover. Right? You were specific about it, but you didn't even see that in order to buy that Land Rover, these are the additional expenses that come with that Land Rover. You didn't even ask, you didn't even think about that, and you got the Land Rover, and now you're deep in debt because it's $1 million debt, and you were not even ready for a car. Many of you don't have homes, but yet you have cars, because the first thing you asked for when money started coming in was a car and not a home. Many of you could have homes, but instead of having homes, you took your own affordability and went and helped someone to buy a house or a car, and now you don't have a car. Now you're in debt. The people are not paying for those loans, and yet you are going to come to your ancestors and complain about that, when it's the decisions that you've made. And then we forget there's a word called agency, the free will, the freedom to choose. In every single decision that you make, there are consequences attached to it, whether they be good or bad consequences. And ancestors do not have any authority in the consequences that comes from your actions. They cannot control them. Even God, the gods themselves cannot control the consequences of your actions, because those are universal laws. They can never be changed. To every action that I take, there are consequences to it. To every decision that I make, there are consequences to it. And you will have to deal with the consequences of your actions until the universal laws are satisfied. And hence, that's why many of you are within the fire, and no one is taking you out of that fire, because you have to pay. You have to deal with the consequences, because even the ancestors or the angels don't have authority to take you out of that fire. You will have to burn in that fire. They will just make sure you don't die. Right? So you need to go back and look at your life and ask yourself, how did I get here? What got me here? And instead of asking for miraculous solutions, miraculous miracles, ask for solutions. Ask for clear-cut solution, and then pay attention to your intuition. Because I can't even tell that to you in a consultation. I can't even tell you in a consultation how to solve the challenges that you are going through. No one will tell you that. But your ancestors, I mean, like, if you have a 2 million rand debt, because of a car. How do you expect a miracle to come in? Many of you are praying for lotto numbers, thinking lotto will fall upon you and you'll be able to pay that. And yet people who actually get the lotto are people who are not in debt. People who don't have anything because they have nothing to lose. They're not desperate for it. And hence that's why they get the lotto, right? So now you cannot expect the debt of 2 million to be paid in a month. By what? Where's the money gonna come from? By what? Where's the money gonna come from? And yet it did not take you. Okay, where's the money gonna come from? Instead, you have to put in the work to clear out the debt. And in the putting in of the work, the ancestors will come with strategies, bit by bit strategies here that will help you. And along the way, as you are putting in the efforts and you are trying all means, putting your resources together to try and pay this thing off and clearing your debts and managing your money well, along the way, money will manifest that you don't know where it's coming from. Along the way, you might actually be given lotto numbers, which will help you to clear this because you are putting in the effort to work on your consequences of your actions. You are putting in the efforts, and then favor is given to you as help. You know the saying that God helps those who help themselves? You need to be doing something first, not just kneeling down and praying and asking for money to be like. Sometimes it's just like some of you are just waiting for money to rain from heaven to come fix all your problems, and you don't want to confront. You are even in delusions about your own things, challenges. And even if I ask people, how do you think, how are you expecting all this to be cleared? People say, but I thought my ancestors will do something. Like what? Like what are they supposed to do? To every action you take, there are consequences. To every decision you make, there are consequences. Whether the consequences will be good or bad. But even in the good decisions that you make, it doesn't mean things will be easy. Just like, as I said in the beginning of this video, when you pray for patience, you will be tested with situations that will make you want to be, that will develop a character of patience in you. When you pray for strength, you will be tested with situations that develop the strength quality in you. When you pray for a good character, for a virtuous character, you are tempted with I had to stop that. The maintenance people were coming in. I don't even know. They're coming to clean the pool that they clean almost every day. Where was I? Now I forgot my train of thought. Okay, so when you pray for certain things, you are then given them. Okay, so as I said, when you pray for a virtuous character, you are then given tests where your virtue is tested to see, right? So if you are going to pray for wealth, you are then going to be given situations where you need to clear the poverty out of your life. Poverty mentality, limiting beliefs on money, clearing your nervous systems to be able to hold money. You know, you will be given those chances to be able to manifest the thing that you want. Because majority of the time when you pray for something, when you manifest something, it means that the thing that you're asking for, you do not have it in your life. And when you do not have it within you, that thing needs to come in. But the reason why that thing you don't have it is because you're not vibrating on the same level as it. And in order for that thing to manifest in your life, you need to raise your vibration. And there are certain things that you need to do on this side in order to raise your vibration to the same level as this thing so that it can manifest into your space. Right, so as above, so below. Let's go back to every single thing happens spiritually before it manifests physically. Right, so now before the physical manifestation, so the ancestors can do their part on this side for the spiritual manifestations, for this thing to be available in your life. And that's where I'm going to get on the second part of this video. But you also have work that you need to do, the clearing, the what, the letting go, the working on yourself. There's so much that you also need to do on this side in order to meet them. Right. Now, let's go back to the part that I said I was having a discussion with someone who had come to visit me. Every single thing that happens, okay, how do I put this? That which we have, that which we have in this world, is also equivalent to what is there in the spiritual, right? So there are laws, the laws that we are governed by, because every single thing happens spiritually before it manifests physically. Right? Let's do everything happens spiritually before it manifests physically. The laws we are governed by in this physical realm are the same laws in the spiritual realms. What do I mean? In the spiritual realms, there's policing, there's laws, the police, right? So hence that's why many of you dream of police, authorities, law officers, military people, and all those things. Some of you dream yourself going to war and all those things. There's that law system. It's there. The banking system. The laws that govern the banking systems are the laws that govern the physical realm banking system. Right? Family systems. Maybe not family, I don't know. But I think the banking system is the one that I will explain it better because I love money. So obviously I will know better the banking system, the money system. Let's look at it at the money system and the banking systems. So there are regulations, right? There are regulations in the spiritual realm. The Reserve Bank, there's a spiritual Reserve Bank as well. The Money Transfer Commission, there's a money transfer commission in the spiritual realm. Banks, there are banks also in the spiritual realm, right? So now you've been praying for funds. You've been praying for funds, asking your ancestors for certain funds. And you are thinking that they must manufacture it and go make paper. Right? I think that's what many of you think. They must go manufacture, but forgetting that there are laws, rules, and regulations that the ancestors have to adhere by. In the video about prayer, I even made it clear that the reason why you put money on your altar, it is so that the ancestors have the money to take from your altar to maybe go trade that money in order for you to open certain doors. Some doors need money, just like how we also have to open certain doors in the physical realm by money. Some doors, also ancestors need money. They need connections as well. They need to be able to have relationships with certain people's ancestors. Sometimes they need to go do certain things in order for them to be able to open certain opportunities, job opportunities for you. I'm reminded now about a friend of mine had a dream. So she used to be the type of person, when we got into altars, she had an altar and she would put money and all those things there. And her uncle came through in a dream and said that they were out of money because she had went for many years. She had went for a couple of years because her mom is opposing this whole thing and whatever. There's so many things that were happening in her life that prevented her from having an actual altar. And so her uncle came in a dream and said that they are hungry. There's no money. They need money. Right? There's no money, and he was thanking her for the money that she had been putting in her altar. But he now was saying they're hungry, there's no money. And even the way he appeared as someone who was struggling. And he even asked for a job for his son. Right? And when we had a discussion about that, it was clear that she needs to do something. She needs to do something, and apparently it came out of the water. So she needs to either go to the water and do an offering and put money for her ancestors so that they have something to eat. Right? So that they have resources to go buy food. Because also you don't even put food for them to eat on the altar. Okay. And I remember when I was really struggling. Well, I was not struggling. I was living within my means. But I didn't have a lot. I've talked about this before, where I had to survive on 2,000, 5,000 every month. And that's all I had. Like 5,000 was even at certain points the maximum. But the amount of money I knew was coming in was 2,000. And from the 2,000, I had rent, I had food, I had all these things. I don't even know how I managed to survive all those years. But I managed to survive. But I remember before then, I would be praying for mine. And my ancestor, my grandmother did not even come to me. She went to someone else and said, ask that person who's busy praying for money. Ask Maputi. Ask her, how are we going to give her money if she does not put money on her altar? And apparently at that time I was putting coins, because that's like literally all I had. I was like putting coins, like 50 cents, 1 rand. And they said that ask her to put more money, put the highest note that she has. Put the highest note that she has for us to be able to give her the money. Right? I've even talked about this one where they were like, the banking part, where they're like, where are we going to put the money that you're asking for in that bank account of yours that can only take a certain amount of money? And it's amazing, because right about that time when they asked me where are they going to put money in the bank account that can only take like a small amount of money, when I went back and did my own researches on bank, I chose a particular bank, right? I'm not going to endorse any banks here. I chose a particular bank, but also because of the travel benefits that it has, because I've always been a traveler. But there was an international bank that I also chose and I opened, that I didn't know when I was going to use it. And now that bank is becoming so handy, not in the spiritual sector, but in my business sector, in my business and interactions and stuff, international things that I'm doing in business. It's becoming so handy. And yet I didn't even know why I was opening it. But I knew I would use it one day. And now it's proving, because the ancestors have had it for a long time, and now they are ready to use it without any limitations and restrictions. Right? So now that's when they asked me, okay, tell her to give us money. To be able to manifest money in her life, we need money, we need offerings, we need food, in order for us to be able to do those things for her. So even when I didn't have much to offer, I still offered something. I still offered something. Right now, my offerings have shifted. Well, I still offer something, but I don't know. Okay, right now the laws are a little bit different, where like how I handle things spiritually, because of the growth in spiritually that I've had. But still, I still do offerings. I still do food. I still do money offerings. I still do all these things for the ancestors. Right? So now the things that you are asking for, you need to learn patience. In your manifestations, you need to learn patience, because you need to also understand that your own ancestors have to also go and do the work. And yet many of you, the only thing that you're doing is kneeling down and asking. Go back to the video on Tato and Tabo and listen to what I said Tato was doing. Tato was not just praying and kneeling, but she was doing work. She was fixing her life. She was putting in the effort in the right direction. Some of you are saying that you're putting in the effort and you want to go leave your job to go start a business that you don't even know is going to succeed. in order to try and fix your financial issues. Or you are starting a business. Business takes out money. Startups take out money instead of bringing in money. Instead of manifesting, putting that money into fixing your financial issues, you want to go and create more debt for yourself. Because you don't think, you're not thinking properly, you're not analytical. You're expecting miracles. Just because a friend started this particular business, or people said this business is going to be successful, you think you should start it as well. Right, so in the spiritual realms, there are laws and regulations. And your ancestors also have to follow the laws and regulations of the spiritual realms. They also can't just manifest money in your life when you have not cleared the consequences of your own actions, when you are not putting in the work. They can't manifest the relationship in your life when you are still bitter, when you're still holding on to the hurt of the past, when you're not even ready. There's so many things that can't manifest in your life. Many of you have made decisions of having kids with certain people, and now you're in situations where you're a single parent and no one is helping you. The ancestors did not make that decision for you, or you got into a marriage where you didn't even ask anyone about that marriage. You just got into that marriage yourself, because many of you make decisions about who you date. You don't even go and ask for permissions before you go date someone, before you even decide to marry that person. You don't even go and ask for permission. You just stand up and you met this guy, you met this girl, and they look attractive, and you, boom, you're in a relationship. Boom, you're in a sexual relationship. Boom, you're having a baby with that person. And yet you did not ask anything from the ancestors. You didn't even ask for their permission. Didn't even ask for their opinion. And now today you are sitting, you're a single parent, or you're sitting in a marriage that's toxic and loveless. And not only that, your ancestors are unable to open the blessings that they've had for you because of the choices that you've made. Some of you are not receiving the blessings that are supposed to be given to you because of the life choices that you've made, the decisions that you've made, the relationships that you're in. I have so many people who come for consultations. And when you do readings for them, there's like the wealth that they walk with. And yes, many of you have went through those situations where people tell you, you have so much wealth. And you're like, where is the money? But you are not looking at the choices you've made. You're not looking at your daily choices, your daily decisions, the things that you are making in your life. I have so many people who come in and they ask, where's the money? And the ancestors is like, so we must give our money to a boy? Because when you are in a relationship, all you think about is boys. So we must take our money, our wealth, and give it to a man. They will ask that. Or they will ask the boy, and they say, you cannot even manage yourself, manage your sexual urges, and then you want us to give you money. We want us to give you wealth. Because the minute you get wealth, the first thing you will do is run for girls. Many of you are praying for stuff, but you don't look at your own actions. You are not looking at your own character. You are not looking at yourself inwardly. Asking yourself, if I receive these things, how will I act? All you know is that you want this, you want this, you want this. You have a problem of drinking. You drink, you have a problem of drinking that you cannot go a day without drinking, and yet you're asking for a car. So meaning that you will be drinking and driving, meaning that you will drive that car under the influence most of the time, and what's going to happen to you? You're going to die. Because when not all you think about is, where is the next alcohol place? Where do we go to groove over the weekend? Where are we going over the weekend? So how will then your ancestors release that? Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, how will they release that when they know that the very same thing you're asking for is going to kill you? When you don't value your own life. You're asking for marriage, but yet you're moving from one boy to another. You don't even have the patience to go celibate and wait. How will they bless you with a marriage when all you are doing is that you're going from one boy to another, having babies with them? Or you're going from one girl to another, making kids all over the world, and yet you can't even provide for those kids? Have your actions, now when you think about the things that you've been praying for, are your actions in alignment with them? Are your actions in alignment with the things that you've been praying for? The things that your ancestors have been giving you instructions on what you need to do, how to do this, where you need to go do this. Have you been doing those things? Many of you are busy praying for money, lots of money, but you are unable to go celibate. You're unable to take a couple of years away. You're unable to fill yourself. The one thing that you need to do right now in order to fix your debt, to fix your life, to fix your money issues is to go celibate. Clear sexual cords, replenish your life force, use that to manifest things, and yet many of you won't even do that. Some of you will be here after 2 months complaining, after a year complaining. Some of you have been celibate for a year and nothing has improved, but you forget there's a process. Did it take you a year to mess up your finances? No. So what makes you think that you will fix it in 3 months? It doesn't make sense. So to every action, to every decision, every action you take, to every decision you make, know that there are consequences to it. And you will have to walk the consequential part of your action. You cannot run away from it. Not even the ancestors can pull you out of your consequences. You have to deal with them. And many of you are dealing with your consequences. And they are not easy. And you have to deal with them. And with time, as you are dealing with your consequences, also look at what you're also praying for. Also look at the current decisions and actions you are taking, because those influence the future as well. Pay attention to the things that you want. Pay attention to the things that you say. Don't just say things aimlessly in prayer. Use your mind. Apply strategy. Don't just use any words. Words are power. Words are spells. Be careful of the words that you use. Don't just pray anything because you heard someone say it. Know what is it that you want. Ask yourself, if I'm asking for this house, what are the consequences of having this house? How will I afford it from here on? If I'm manifesting this life, how will I have it? I remember there was a point where I think it was the season where I was given clear instructions to start being specific about a relationship that I want. And I had made lists of requests because I write things down. So I had made a list of things that I wanted to ask, but at this time they were like, be specific. Be highly specific and be careful what you ask for. And I remember thinking to myself, and I was like, what do I really want? The money is there. I will not go for anyone who does not have money. That's clear. I don't have time for games. I don't have time for that, right? Some people want love. I want money. So that's not a debatable thing. And I remember thinking to myself, and I said to myself, apart from money, I want, like, let me look at the character of a person. And this is something that many people don't even go through. And I was like, the character of a person. what kind of a character do I think I'll be able to handle? I went through a series where I was looking at the people in my life and the different characters I'm able to get along with, and the characters that I can't just stand in certain people. Even though I love them, I just can't stand those things about them. And I had to refine my list. I don't know, that list took me 3 months, and just refining and analyzing it and looking at it. When I went to pray and ask for that list, it was the most powerful thing that I've ever prayed for, because I was clear in the kind of intentions, in the kind of character, kindness. I remember at some point I was like, we take kindness lightly. You want someone who is kind. I'm a very impatient person. And I remember asking for someone who will be patient and calm, because I can be moody. So I looked at myself, my insecurities, my impurities, my own limiting beliefs, my own my own limit, things that I'm still working on. I did not create a list about a perfect person, no. But I was very realistic about the kind of character that I wanted. To the point that when I was even done with that list and asked for it in prayer, I had some of my ancestors come and say, well done. Well done. You really put thought into that. And I remember there was a time when one of my client came to me, and they were supposed to do one of my baths, and in one of those cleansings, there's a prayer request that you have to put forth. And her grandfather came to me and said, the list that she made, we're not happy with that list. Then, like, we see the things she asked for, but that's not what we want for her, because her life will be miserable. And I asked her, I was like, okay, share with me your list that you're about to ask in prayer. And I read it, and I was like, okay, no. I understand the success you want, but the stress level that is going to come with that success, you are not ready for it. And we had to go and refine that list. And she went back and refined it. And I even said to her, your ancestors want you to have success in ease. And I've seen it with many people where you ask for stuff, but you have this thing that you have to work for these things. So the things that you're asking for, you're also asking for work. Unconsciously, you're not even aware that's what you're asking for. You keep manifesting things that make you work hard. I was saying to one of my friends, and I'm like, why do you always choose businesses that require you to work hard? Like to break your back. And she's like, whoa, I never thought of that. And I'm like, you always do that. You always ask for things that require you to work hard. And yet your ancestors would really love you to live the soft life, to have things materialize in your life. To not say we don't work, you still work, but to work strategically. I've always said I'm a lazy person. I'm lazy to my core. And because I'm lazy, I always find strategies to simplify my work and make it less complicated. Hence, that's why I always tell you guys that I don't like complicated stuff. I don't complicate spirituality, because if spirituality is not complicated, it means that I understand it, and I don't spend so much time trying to figure it out and wasting time and years trying to figure something that's not going to bring me to heaven. I had an end goal. My end goal is these 2 things, and anything that I focus on, will it take me there? If it's not taking me there, then I'm not going to go there. I read a comment today. Someone said in one of the videos, tell us, I hope your ancestors teach you about the national anthem, right? Or the history, I don't know, what about the national anthem? And the first thing that I asked myself, which is every single thing I always ask myself this, will it take me to heaven? Will knowing the history and meaning of the national anthem take me to heaven? And the answer was like, no. Then I don't need to know about it. Then I don't need to know about it. Will it affect me going to heaven? If it's yes, then I need to know about it. If it's no, then I don't need to know about it. So hence, that's why a majority of the things that I talk about are things that are going to take you to heaven. I believe they're going to take you to heaven, because for me, the first question I ask myself is, if I'm focused on this, will it take me to heaven? Will it take me out of the matrix in order for me to get to heaven? And if the answer is yes, then I focus on it. But if the answer is no, then why am I bothered about it? I don't need to be bothered about that. Will the color candle that I use take me to heaven? No. Unless and specifically it's instructed. But majority of the time, the color candles you use have nothing to do. Like, they just add a little bit. Candle. Yes, in cleansings you might need to use specific colors. But will you using a different color not take you to heaven or not take you to heaven? No. It's not about the color of the candle. It's about what you are saying. It's about what's in the heart. It's about what's in you. It's about the actions you are taking. Because there are people who are going to heaven who don't use candles. Yeah. I don't use candles as much as I used to, because at this point where I am, they are not needed. Right? So always ask yourself the thing that you're focusing on. And hence that's why the matrix system, the system, the people that run the system, everything, they make you focus on things that they know those things don't add value to your godhood. They don't add value to anything that you're doing. So always ask yourself that. In things that I'm trying to learn spiritually, are they going to make any difference in me becoming a god? If the answer is no, then there's no need to know them. It's okay to not know every single thing. I don't know every single thing. And I did not come here because I know every single thing. I just came here to share things, the little that I know, because there's so many people who know more than me. The little that I know, I'm sharing it in a way, in a simplified way that will help the next person. That's all I'm doing. I'm not here because I know a lot. And hence, that's why certain things I don't even want to focus on them. Because they add no value to me as a person. And so because they add no value to me as a person, I hardly focus on them. Right? Okay, I'm out of time. My phone says it's on 15%, meaning that I need to charge it. I need to start my consultation, which is also going to be someone that they are just going to shout at. Yeah. All right, my loves, I love you guys. I love you a lot. And until next time, till when I come back with another lesson, still thinking on the topics, still asking for clarity on topics that we need to go through. And my lesson book is full. So I need to go buy a new book in order to write lessons. So until then, I'll come back, but I'll probably come back with a structured lesson soon. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see how it goes. I just came back. I have a lot of work to do. All right, I love you, and I wish you guys a beautiful day, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And yeah, toodles.